Friends, this is Frederick Henry, and I'm just talking to you today because I want to ask the question, who are the Americans? The Americans are those persons who love America. Now, there are many people who live in the land known as America, but we're finding out today there are many people who don't love America. They use America, they profit from America, they get rich on America, they suck off the lifeblood of America, but they don't love America. And they're willing to use America to make themselves personally and individually rich or famous or powerful, but they don't love America. And then there's the other people, and I think the great majority of them, which are the people who appreciate this nation. They appreciate the freedom they have. They appreciate the democracy they enjoy. They appreciate the freedom of the vote in a booth, pulling the lever without having to sign a paper and saying who they voted for. They appreciate the freedom of movement. Think of it. Each one of our states, each one of the 50 United States, one not connected to the continent, and one in the far north of the continent, but 48 contiguous states. We don't need a passport to move from New York to Ohio to Idaho to California. We don't need different currencies. We don't have to speak a different language. We all are Americans, and we share a common culture, a common bond. And there are those who want to say this common bond is false, this common bond is faulty, this common bond is wrong, but it is a common bond. Whether it's the Western movement of the pioneers, whether it's the great northern states or the great southern states, whether it's the black people or the white people, whether it's the Christian or the Jews, whether it's the Mormons or others, these people forged a nation. They founded a continent. They moved across vast plains. They cooperated when possible with the Indians. Yes, there are many faults. We understand that. But nonetheless, this is a great nation, a great people. And those who love America are the Americans. There are others who say they're citizens of the United States, but they hate America. They hate the principles. They hate the democracy. They hate the freedom. They hate that you can do what you want and they can do what they want. They want to say, we can do what we want, but you can't do what you want. These are the haters of America. So who are the Americans? I would suggest to you that these are the people who love America. They love George Washington. They love Sam Adams. They love Benjamin Harrison. They love Abraham Lincoln. They love Andrew Jackson. They love McKinley. They love Roosevelt. They love Woodrow Wilson, even though there's difficulties there. But for myself, I have difficulty with Woodrow Wilson, but okay. They love Franklin Delano Roosevelt. They love Truman. They love Eisenhower. They love Nixon. Even there's difficulty with Nixon, but all our presidents, great leaders, reflecting the culture of their times. And so these are the people who love America. These are the Americans. And right now we have President Donald John Trump, and he is returned to the White House. He's no longer in the hospital. He is our president. He's elected by 63 million American people. He carried the plurality in the Electoral College. He is our president, and we honor him and respect him because we honor and respect ourselves. Now, there is the resistance. That's Chuck Schumer, that's Nancy Pelosi, and on day one, the resistance. They resist the election. They resist the election of the President of the United States. That doesn't mean they resist Donald Trump. That's fine. They can resist Donald Trump all they want. But from day one, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and the Democrats have said, we resist the will of the American people. We resist the vote. We resist those who would elect the President of the United States freely and fairly. We resist the vote. We resist the freedom of the vote. And we will do everything we can as the resistance. Think about it. We resist. We don't agree. We do not accept the election of 2016. Now, these people have said that they do not accept the election, although it was a fair and free election. They do not accept the will of 63 million Americans. They do not accept the election of the Electoral College. They do not accept the ratification by the Congress of the United States of the presidency of Donald J. Trump. They resist. That we don't agree, and therefore we resist. We resist the American people. We resist the Constitution. We resist the free vote. We resist the election of the presidency. We resist. So they do not accept the American way. They do not accept the American process. They do not accept freedom. They do not accept democracy. They do not accept the freedom of the vote. These people say, we do not accept America. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, all the rest of them, even those women in white during the President's State of the Union address, they say, we do not accept America. They're sitting in the House of Representatives. They're elected representatives of the American people, and they say, we do not accept the Constitution. We do not accept freedom of elections. We do not accept the freedom of vote. We do not accept the freedom of 63 million people to elect the president by majority. We do not accept the Electoral College. We do not accept the Congress affirming the Electoral College. So these people dressed in white said, we do not love America. That's the difference, my friends. This is the key point. And when we go to the voting booth, in less than, I think, a month and 3 days, remember the women dressed in white, the Congress women dressed in white, told by Nancy Pelosi, you will dress in white. We remember those who say, we do not accept America, and vote accordingly. Those women, all of them women, by the way, dressed in white, in the House of Representatives, should be thrown out of office because they do not accept the premise. They do not accept the premise upon which they were elected. Oh, well, we were elected freely, they say. We were elected fairly, they say. We were elected legally, they say. But Donald Trump, in the same election, was not elected freely, fairly, and legally. This dichotomy, this prejudice, this bias of the women dressed in white in the Congress must be rejected. It must be thrown out. Those women dressed in white should be thrown out of the Congress because by wearing white, they said, we do not accept the Constitution, we do not elect the justice system, we do not elect the election, we do not honor the will of 63 million American people. We are better than that. But they were elected by the same process. This kind of dichotomy or lying or falsehood must be rejected because it is rejectable. How could we possibly elect a woman dressed in white during the last president's State of the Union who said by their dressing in white and by their activities, we reject America. We are not Americans. We live off America. We get $179,000 salary from America. We accept American taxes. We accept our office. We accept protection from the Capitol Police. We accept that we can decide for others what they should do, but we reject everybody else because we're better. We're elite. We're the Democrats. And these women must be rejected in the Congress, in the election. Okay, I'm not going to make this long because I don't think it's meaningful, but I want to say that I really think that we need to take stock of what happened during the State of the Union address and how the women dressed in white, led by Nancy Pelosi, identified themselves as people who use America, benefit from America, get rich over America, suck the lifeblood of America, but reject America. They reject freedom. They reject the freedom of the vote, and they reject the majority rule of the people. And they reject you, my friends, and me, and we must oust them from office. Note all the women who were dressed in white during the President's State of the Union address and throw them out of office because they do not deserve our trust, because they hate you, and they hate me, and they hate America. Okay, this is Frederick Henry. I want to thank you very much for listening. I know this is very emotional and powerful, and it's just before the election, but you know what? I just can't bear to think that people who stand up in the Congress of the United States of America dressed in white and thereby reject everything you and I stand for should be reelected to office. We must throw these people out and put them in the street. They do not deserve to walk in the hallowed halls of the Congress of the United States. The Congress of Everett Dirksen, the Congress of Clay, the Congress of Lincoln, the Congress of Washington. No, no, no. And again, I say Roosevelt, Wilson, McKinley, Coolidge, and all the rest. Teddy Roosevelt. Harrison, Johnson, Adams, Jefferson, they reject that. They reject it. And they must be rejected. And we must throw them out of office, my friends. Throw these women dressed in white. Know who they are. I'm not going to listen for you. Look it up. I can't do everything for you. Look it up. The women in white, and throw them out of office. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Frederick Henry, and you've been listening to the Frederick Henry Podcast. Thank you for listening. God bless.